Have you ever wondered why, out of all the possible moments across the vast expanse of time, you were born exactly when you were? That precise day, that exact hour, was it merely random chance, or is there something far more profound at work? The moment of your birth is no accident. It's a cosmic signature encoded with spiritual information that your conscious mind may have forgotten, but your soul remembers with perfect clarity. This signature holds the key to understanding the deeper patterns of your life, patterns that sometimes feel inexplicably familiar, as if you've lived them before. Perhaps you have. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. The date inscribed on your birth certificate carries far more than administrative information. According to the renowned psychic Edgar Cayce, it contains a spiritual code, a blueprint that reveals profound insights about your past lives, the soul connections you've carried forward, and the specific karmic lessons you've agreed to face in this lifetime. Has this ever happened to you? You meet someone for the first time, yet feel an instant connection or aversion that defies logical explanation. Or perhaps you've always had specific fears or talents that emerged effortlessly, with no apparent cause in your current life experience. These mysteries begin to make sense when viewed through the lens of your birth date's spiritual significance. In a universe where nothing happens by accident, your birth date stands as a sacred appointment, a moment when the stars aligned precisely for your soul's journey to continue. Even when life's challenges seem random or cruelly unfair, there exists an underlying pattern, a spiritual mathematics that orchestrated your arrival at exactly the right moment for the lessons your soul needs to learn. What if I told you that the day you were born speaks more profoundly about your true nature than any personality test or astrological chart? The cosmic forces that converged at your birth created a unique, energetic signature, one that carries echoes of who you've been, illuminates who you are now, and whispers of who you might become. Stay with me until the end of this journey, because what you're about to discover might fundamentally change how you view your existence. The pain you've experienced, the relationships that have shaped you, the inexplicable synchronicities that have guided your path, all begin to form a coherent pattern when viewed through the spiritual lens of your birth moment. Your birth date is not just the beginning of your story. It's a continuation of an ancient narrative that stretches across lifetimes. It's a sacred password from the past, now pulsing through your very being, guiding you toward your highest purpose, if only you knew how to decode it. If you're resonating with these spiritual insights about birth dates and karma, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. We explore the hidden wisdom of your soul's journey across lifetimes, helping you understand the divine purpose behind your experiences. What I'm about to share with you might resonate in the deepest chambers of your soul, not as new information, but as a profound remembering of truths that have always lived within you. These revelations aren't meant to simply inform your mind, but to awaken your spirit to the hidden truth of who you truly are, beyond the constraints of this single lifetime. Your journey of transformation begins with a simple yet powerful act of intention. By consciously acknowledging your willingness to remember, you're essentially turning the key that unlocks dormant memories within your spiritual DNA. This mindset shift isn't merely psychological, it's an energetic declaration that ripples through the spiritual realms, signaling that you're ready to receive the guidance that has always been waiting for you. Think of your birth date as a sacred appointment in the cosmic calendar, a reconnection point with cycles that have been unfolding since before time itself. The date you entered this world represents so much more than a starting point. It's a continuation, a thread pulled through from ancient tapestries of experience that your soul has been weaving across countless lifetimes. The moment of your birth wasn't the beginning of your story. It was a powerful reconnection with a narrative that has been unfolding across dimensions beyond our limited human perception. This cosmic password, encoded in your date of birth, pulses within every cell of your body, subtly influencing your desires, your natural abilities, and even the challenges that seem to repeatedly manifest in your life. What appears as random coincidence to the untrained eye reveals itself as divine orchestration when viewed through the lens of spiritual awareness. Edgar Cayce, whose profound intuitive abilities allowed him to access the Akashic records, the universal storehouse of all information, consistently emphasized that God's clock is never late. Every soul arrives at precisely the perfect moment for its evolution. The hour of your birth, the position of celestial bodies, the family that received you, none of these elements were happenstance. They followed an intricate, spiritual mathematics that your conscious mind may struggle to comprehend, but your higher self perfectly understands. The clues to deciphering this divine timing aren't found in dusty ancient texts or complex astrological charts, though these tools may assist the journey. The most powerful insights reside within you, in your natural inclinations, in the patterns of your relationships, in the challenges that repeatedly present themselves for your growth, and in the moments of inexplicable knowing that occasionally pierce through the veil of forgetfulness. Now, I want to go even deeper into this concept of divine timing. When you understand that your arrival on Earth followed cosmic precision, you begin to see how everything in your life, even the painful chapters, serves a higher purpose in your soul's evolution. Nothing is wasted, nothing is truly random. If what I'm sharing resonates with you on a level beyond intellectual understanding, if you feel it as a knowing in your bones, write in the comments, "My soul remembers." This simple acknowledgement is more powerful than you might realize, as it affirms your willingness to awaken to the deeper significance of your earthly journey. One of the most profound revelations in understanding your birth circumstances comes when you recognize that the family you were born into wasn't a random assignment, but a carefully orchestrated reunion. The people who shaped your earliest experiences, whether through nurturing love or challenging and pain, are souls you've danced with before across the vast timeline of your eternal journey. These relationships represent unfinished business, soul contracts waiting to be fulfilled, or love stories seeking continuation. The mother who shaped your emotional landscape, the father who influenced your worldview, the siblings who taught you about sharing and boundaries. These weren't strangers randomly assembled, but familiar spirits with whom you've shared countless experiences. The intensity of family dynamics often reflects the depth of these previous connections. Even the most challenging relationships are spiritual masterclasses designed with extraordinary precision for your growth. This perspective creates a powerful mindset shift when we encounter family difficulties. What appears as dysfunction through a limited lens reveals itself as a divinely orchestrated opportunity for transformation when viewed through the eyes of the soul. That difficult parent may be the very spirit you needed to encounter to heal ancient wounds or develop qualities that would otherwise remain dormant. Edgar Cayce consistently emphasized that karma isn't the universe's punishment system, but rather its restoration mechanism, a perfect reflection of divine justice infused with unconditional love. The challenges we face aren't arbitrary suffering, but precisely calibrated opportunities to restore harmony where we once created discord. Behind every seemingly cruel circumstance lies a hidden gift, the chance to evolve beyond our previous limitations and express more of our divine potential. This revelation brings us to one of the most challenging concepts for the human mind to accept: the possibility that your soul actually requested the difficult circumstances of your childhood before incarnating. In the clarity of the spiritual realm, unburdened by physical and emotional limitations, your higher self may have recognized exactly which experiences would catalyze your greatest growth. What appears as trauma from our limited human perspective may have been precisely the catalyst needed for developing compassion, resilience, or other soul qualities essential for your higher purpose. To continue exploring the sacred mysteries of your soul's path, subscribe to our spiritual family. Our videos are designed to awaken pieces of your ancient wisdom, helping you remember who you truly are beyond this single lifetime. The soul, in its infinite wisdom, understands that comfort rarely leads to expansion. Like a master sculptor who knows exactly where to chisel to reveal the masterpiece within, your higher self may have chosen circumstances that would shape you into the person you needed to become. This doesn't invalidate your pain or struggle, it infuses it with meaning and purpose. When we embrace this understanding, a remarkable inner healing begins to unfold. Resentment transforms into recognition, victimhood into empowerment, and the heaviness of "why me" dissolves into the liberation of "this too serves my evolution." Have you experienced this shift in perspective about your challenging early experiences? If so, type in the comments, "My challenges were chosen." Let's explore how this understanding can radically transform how you view the patterns in your life. The patterns in our lives often reveal themselves through unexplained emotional responses that seem to defy logical explanation. Have you ever encountered a situation that triggered an intense fear, despite having no traumatic experience to justify such a reaction? Perhaps it's a fear of water, heights, enclosed spaces, or even specific animals, with no apparent origin story in your current lifetime. These mysterious emotional responses aren't random glitches in your psychological makeup. They're powerful revelations, echoes from experiences your conscious mind has forgotten, but your soul remembers with perfect clarity. These invisible scars, carried by the soul, create emotional blueprints that influence your decisions, relationships, and even the opportunities you unconsciously avoid. The journey toward wholeness often begins when you recognize these hidden truths, that your inexplicable reactions may be windows into soul memories waiting to be acknowledged and healed. This recognition isn't about dwelling in the past, but illuminating it so you can make conscious choices rather than reactive ones. This same principle explains the profound mystery of children who seem born with an ancient wisdom behind their eyes. You've likely encountered these old souls, children who speak with unexpected depth, show remarkable emotional intelligence, or demonstrate a natural understanding of complex concepts that typically require years of life experience. Their maturity isn't precocious development, it's the breakthrough of soul memory, centuries of lived experience shining through a young vessel. Conversely, others spend decades searching for meaning that perpetually eludes them, as if trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. This persistent seeking often reflects unfinished business from previous incarnations, spiritual homework left incomplete that the soul is determined to resolve. The search itself is a powerful indicator of soul commitment to growth and completion. But the revelations of your birth map aren't limited to challenges and unresolved issues. They also illuminate the gifts you've earned through your soul's devoted practice across lifetimes. Those talents that flow effortlessly through you, whether artistic expression, healing capacities, leadership abilities, or intuitive insights, represent spiritual equity you've accumulated. That natural ability that others marvel at while you think, "This is just easy for me," isn't beginner's luck but mastery remembered. When you recognize that your talents aren't random genetic lottery wins, but hard-earned spiritual accomplishments, it transforms how you approach them. They become sacred trusts rather than personal achievements, gifts developed through the dedication of your soul across many lifetimes, now return to you not merely for personal gain, but for meaningful contribution. The pianist whose fingers move with intuitive grace, the natural healer whose touch brings comfort, the born leader who inspires others effortlessly, all are expressing soul mastery earned through countless hours of dedicated practice beyond the boundaries of this single lifetime. Have you noticed an ability that comes naturally to you that others find difficult, something that feels like remembering rather than learning? If you recognize this phenomenon in your own experience, write in the comments, "I carry ancient wisdom." Your natural gifts are no accident. They're the universe's acknowledgement of your soul's dedicated practice. Delving deeper into the spiritual architecture of your incarnation reveals another layer of divine precision: the exact hour of your birth. This timing wasn't arbitrary, but meticulously orchestrated to align with specific cosmic energies necessary for your soul's mission. Just as a master gardener knows precisely when to plant each seed for optimal growth, your arrival was timed to coincide with celestial alignments that would activate particular aspects of your spiritual blueprint. For souls prepared to undertake specific missions on Earth, this timing becomes even more crucial. The universe itself seems to pause and take a breath in that sacred moment. The planetary positions, the angle of sunlight, even the electromagnetic fields of Earth at that precise hour, all create a unique energetic signature that whispers to your soul, "Now your journey begins." This cosmic timestamp becomes the activation code for your spiritual purpose, infusing your being with the exact vibrational frequencies needed for your life's work. The profound significance of birth timing explains why identical twins, despite sharing genetic material and family environment, often develop distinctly different personalities and life paths. The minutes or hours separating their arrivals create entirely different energetic blueprints, highlighting how the universe operates with remarkable precision behind the scenes of our seemingly ordinary lives. Edgar Cayce spoke extensively about the sacred moment when a newborn draws its first independent breath. This isn't merely a physiological milestone, but a profound spiritual awakening, the moment when the soul fully commits to its earthly journey. As oxygen fills those tiny lungs for the first time, the body becomes a living temple, and the soul is enveloped by vibrations that activate dormant spiritual agreements. It's as if an invisible bell resonates throughout the cosmos, calling the consciousness into full embodiment, a sacred covenant between spirit and flesh, now fully activated. This revelation illuminates another aspect of incarnation that defies conventional understanding: the purposeful selection of your physical vessel. The body you inhabit wasn't randomly assigned, but carefully chosen as the perfect vehicle for your soul's evolution. Its genetic predispositions, inherent strengths, and yes, even its limitations, were accepted as essential components of your spiritual curriculum. When a soul chooses a body with significant challenges, whether physical disabilities, health conditions, or particular appearances that might invite social difficulties, it's making a profound strategic decision for accelerated growth. These aren't cruel cosmic punishments, but powerful catalysts for transformation. A body that struggles with chronic illness might be chosen to develop patience, compassion, or spiritual surrender. Physical limitations often become gateways to extraordinary internal development, the soul using external constraints as a pathway to inner freedom. This understanding revolutionizes our relationship with our physical form. Rather than measuring our bodies against artificial cultural standards or lamenting their imperfections, we can recognize them as sacred instruments precisely calibrated for our unique journey. If you've ever felt a sense that your physical challenges have somehow deepened your wisdom or expanded your capacity for empathy, share your insight by writing "My body teaches my soul" in the comments below. Let's explore how these carefully selected vessels serve as the perfect classrooms for the lessons we most need to learn. This sacred vessel you inhabit, this intricate arrangement of cells, tissues, and energy, deserves far more reverence than our image-obsessed culture typically affords it. Consider how many times you've stood before a mirror, focusing on perceived flaws rather than the miracle of your embodiment. Each curve, line, and feature of your physical form was accepted by your soul as the perfect classroom for this journey of transformation. When you reject your body, you're inadvertently rejecting the very vessel your higher self carefully selected for your spiritual evolution. Your body isn't merely a biological accident or genetic lottery. It's a living temple where your soul experiences the precise conditions needed for purification and growth. Those aspects you may have struggled to accept, whether related to appearance, health challenges, or natural limitations, are not cosmic punishments, but sacred tools specifically chosen to catalyze your awakening. The journey toward genuine self-acceptance often reveals hidden truths about our soul's intentions that our ego mind initially resists. This same divine orchestration extends to the souls who became your parents. Even those relationships marked by absence, difficulty, or outright pain serve profound spiritual purposes that transcend conventional understanding. The mother who couldn't provide the nurturing you craved, the father who seemed emotionally unavailable. These weren't random misfortunes, but carefully selected teachers for lessons your soul determined were essential for your development. Some souls choose challenging parental relationships precisely to develop qualities like self-reliance, forgiveness, or the capacity to break generational patterns. Behind the scenes of these difficult relationships lies an extraordinary spiritual agreement, souls who loved you enough to play challenging roles in your life story, sometimes at great cost to their own spiritual comfort. This perspective doesn't invalidate your pain, but infuses it with meaning, transforming resentment into reverence for the profound soul contracts that shaped your earliest experiences on Earth. Your connection to the collective extends even further, into the very timing of your arrival on Earth. Many evolved souls deliberately choose to incarnate on dates marked by collective tragedy, societal upheaval, or significant historical transitions. This isn't coincidental timing, but intentional positioning, a soul's decision to energetically participate in humanity's healing at precise moments when that healing energy is most needed. These souls function as cosmic acupuncture needles, strategically placed at critical points in the timeline of human experience to help transmute collective pain into evolutionary growth. The date that appears on your birth certificate may reveal your soul's commitment to a larger healing mission that extends far beyond your personal journey. Those born during times of war, natural disasters, or profound societal transformation often carry unique vibrational signatures that serve the collective healing process in ways that remain largely invisible to conventional understanding. If you've ever felt an inexplicable connection to historical events that occurred near your birth date, or sensed that your life somehow relates to collective healing in ways you can't fully articulate, share your intuition by writing "I'm here for collective healing" in the comments. Now let's explore how your birth date reveals patterns from your previous incarnations. The journey of human existence often feels like a search for something we can't quite name, a persistent sense that we're trying to recover something lost. This universal feeling of seeking isn't merely philosophical restlessness, but the soul's innate recognition that birth itself was a profound act of remembering. While the conscious mind forgets, wrapped in what mystics call the veil of forgetting, the spirit retains perfect clarity about its purpose and path. This creates the fascinating paradox of human experience. We are simultaneously forgetting and remembering, losing and finding ourselves in an elaborate cosmic dance. This hidden truth illuminates why certain experiences, places, or even strangers can trigger such powerful emotional responses, moments of déjà vu that feel like recognition rather than introduction. These aren't random neural misfirings, but breakthrough moments when the soul's memory momentarily pierces through the amnesia of incarnation. Your spirit never forgets its mission, even when your conscious mind remains unaware of the script it helped write before taking physical form. The orchestration of your earthly identity extends even to what might seem like mundane details, including the name you carry. Beyond its cultural or family significance, your name vibrates at a specific frequency that acts as a spiritual tuning fork, resonating with precise energetic patterns. The sounds contained within your name, whether spoken aloud or simply thought, create ripples through your energetic field, attracting certain experiences while repelling others. This explains why some people feel deeply connected to their given names, while others experience a persistent urge to change theirs. It's not mere preference, but the soul's recognition of whether that vibrational signature aligns with its intended path. Your name functions as a magnetic password in the universe's operating system, a code that unlocks specific doorways of experience your soul intended to walk through. Even if you dislike your name, its sound pattern may be precisely calibrated to attract the challenges or opportunities most essential for your spiritual evolution. Edgar Cayce consistently emphasized another aspect of incarnation planning that defies conventional thinking: the perfect precision of your geographic birth location. The country whose culture shaped your worldview, the city whose energy influenced your development, even the specific neighborhood and street where you first drew breath. None were random assignments, but carefully selected environments for your soul's unique healing journey. This revelatory perspective transforms how we view our origins. The limitations or advantages of your birthplace weren't arbitrary circumstances, but strategic positioning. Your soul choosing the exact vibrational environment needed to catalyze specific aspects of healing or growth. Whether you were born amid material abundance or scarcity, in cultural isolation or diversity, in political stability or turmoil, these weren't coincidental backdrops, but essential elements of your soul's curriculum, the perfect setting for rediscovering exactly what you came to heal. If you've ever felt an inexplicable pull towards certain locations, places that somehow feel more like home than where you were raised, your soul may be recognizing geographic frequencies that resonate with its healing journey. Have you experienced this mysterious connection to places you've never physically visited? Share your experience by typing "My soul recognizes home" in the comments. Let's explore how your early childhood experiences provide even more clues about your soul's previous chapters. The earliest chapters of your life story contain remarkable revelations about your soul's previous journey. Those first years, when you were freshly emerged from the veil between worlds, serve as a bridge between what was and what is becoming. The specific ways you were received by your family, the unique challenges that appeared in your childhood, even your earliest preferences for certain toys, foods, or activities, all contain whispers of your most recent incarnation. Children who show unusual fear of water may be carrying the echo of a drowning experience from a past life. Those drawn to specific historical periods or cultures often reveal soul connections to those times. The child obsessed with knights and castles, or inexplicably drawn to ancient Egypt, isn't merely expressing random fascination, but remembering fragments of lived experience. These early signals appear before the world fully imposes its conditioning, while the soul's memory remains closest to the surface. The wisdom of this design becomes apparent when we recognize that early pains and challenges often emerge precisely because they need immediate attention. Your soul strategically positions certain lessons at the beginning of your journey because they represent the foundation upon which your spiritual growth in this lifetime must be built. What appears as unfortunate early suffering is often the soul compassionately ensuring that essential reframing begins before patterns become too deeply entrenched. Even that first primal cry, the sound that announces your arrival, carries profound spiritual significance beyond its biological function. That powerful release isn't merely a physiological response to air entering lungs, but a complex emotional discharge, the sound of a soul processing the monumental transition between realms. In that raw, unfiltered expression lies a complex mixture of emotions, the sadness of leaving behind the spiritual realm's clarity, the fear of once again facing the unknown, the surprise of sensory bombardment, but also the profound hope that accompanies every fresh beginning. The spirit cries because it knows, deeper than conscious thought, that another opportunity for growth and redemption has begun. That primal sound contains the soul's recognition of both the magnitude of what it has undertaken and its unwavering commitment to the journey ahead. It is perhaps the most honest expression we ever make, the unfiltered voice of the soul as it crosses the threshold between worlds. This perspective illuminates another common but rarely discussed spiritual phenomenon, the persistent feeling that you're somehow paying for actions you have no conscious memory of committing. This sensation of karmic repayment often manifests as a perplexing sense that certain challenging patterns in your life aren't random misfortunes, but somehow deserved. This isn't imaginary or merely psychological. It's your soul's recognition of its own journey toward balance. This feeling, however, isn't evidence of cosmic punishment, but rather the natural return of energetic patterns seeking resolution, like a spiritual ecosystem maintaining its balance. What's truly remarkable is that this process isn't designed to inflict suffering, but to elevate consciousness. Each challenging pattern that returns isn't meant to punish, but to offer the opportunity for revision, healing, and ultimately transcendence through deeper understanding. Have you experienced inexplicable situations that felt like you were settling accounts you didn't remember creating? If this resonates, write in the comments, "I'm healing my soul's ledger." Let's explore how your birth represents a profound spiritual contract with the divine. One of the most profound revelations in spiritual understanding is recognizing that your birth wasn't something that happened to you, but rather a sacred agreement you consciously participated in creating. Before your soul's descent into physical form, you stood in perfect awareness and said yes to the divine plan, accepting both the gifts and challenges that would unfold in this lifetime. Even when facing circumstances that seem cruelly unfair from your limited human perspective, at the soul level, you chose this journey with full understanding of its purpose. This spiritual contract isn't a one-time agreement that ends at birth. It's renewed with each sunrise, each breath, each moment you continue to participate in the unfolding of your life story. Every morning when you open your eyes to greet another day, you're silently reaffirming your commitment to this divine blueprint. This perspective transforms even your most difficult days from seeming random misfortunes into meaningful chapters in your soul's evolution, each challenge an opportunity to fulfill promises you made before embodiment. The hidden architecture of this divine plan reveals itself through fascinating patterns that most overlook, particularly the recurring dates that appear throughout family lineages. Have you noticed how certain birth dates seem to repeat across generations? The grandmother and granddaughter born on the same day, decades apart. The uncle and nephew who share a birthday. the child born on the anniversary of a grandparent's passing. These aren't statistical curiosities, but visible manifestations of invisible soul agreements, cosmic signatures of spiritual pacts made beyond the veil of physical existence. These synchronized dates function as energetic anchors across generations, creating resonance points where certain soul qualities or lessons can be transmitted, healed, or elevated. They represent moments when the fabric between worlds grows thin, allowing for more direct spiritual communication between souls committed to shared evolutionary journeys. When viewed through this lens, the family calendar transforms from a collection of random dates into a sacred text, revealing the intricate soul connections binding your lineage together. Even more remarkable are the souls who deliberately choose to reincarnate on dates that previously marked significant failures or traumas in their soul journey. This profound act of spiritual courage represents the soul's determination to transform darkness into light through conscious redemption. A soul might choose to be born on the anniversary of a previous lifetime's greatest mistake or most painful experience, not as self-punishment, but as a powerful declaration of its intention to heal that specific wound. Through this deliberate timing, the soul creates a powerful alchemical process, transmuting past pain into present love, former error into current wisdom. What once represented darkness becomes illuminated through conscious intention. The birth date itself becomes a powerful talisman of transformation, a key of light unlocking doorways that previously led only to shadow. This cosmic recycling of energy reveals the universe's extraordinary economy. Nothing is wasted, everything can be transformed. If you've noticed meaningful date patterns in your family or feel a mysterious connection to certain calendar days that seem to carry special significance for you, share your experience by writing "My birth date speaks" in the comments. Let's explore how certain birth dates carry even more profound spiritual significance. Beyond the patterns we've explored lies another fascinating dimension of birth date significance. The souls who arrive on dates already imbued with profound spiritual resonance. Those born on days associated with saints, enlightened guides, or spiritual masters often carry unique vibrational signatures aligned with specific missions. These aren't random timing coincidences, but deliberate spiritual positioning, souls choosing to incarnate when the veil between worlds is naturally thinner and specific spiritual frequencies more readily accessible. These souls don't arrive with special privileges, but rather with heightened responsibilities, cosmic assignments requiring them to serve as light bearers, often in environments of considerable darkness. The spiritual blueprint encoded in these sacred birth dates doesn't indicate superiority, but rather a soul contract that demands more, greater service, deeper surrender, more conscious radiation of divine qualities. These individuals frequently experience more intense spiritual testing precisely because they've volunteered to anchor specific light frequencies that the collective desperately needs. This revelation illuminates why some people experience such profound ambivalence about their birthdays, an inexplicable mixture of celebration and unease that seems to defy logical explanation. At the unconscious level, each birthday serves as a powerful spiritual checkpoint, a cosmic anniversary of the soul's original commitment that inevitably raises the question, are you fulfilling what you promised? When the honest answer is not yet, the soul grows restless, creating that unmistakable inner discomfort that something remains unaligned, unfulfilled, uncompleted. Each birthday milestone functions as a spiritual accounting, an opportunity to assess how faithfully you're walking the path your soul charted before incarnation. Those who feel uncomfortable with birthday celebrations may be unconsciously sensing the weight of this spiritual accounting, particularly when their current life trajectory diverges significantly from their soul's intended path. The inner restlessness that often accompanies these milestone days isn't random emotional fluctuation, but the soul's gentle nudging toward course correction and realignment with deeper purpose. Conversely, those who approach their birthdays with genuine gratitude, regardless of their external circumstances, create something profoundly beautiful in the spiritual realms. When someone authentically gives thanks for the gift of their existence, despite whatever hardships they may be facing, they generate a powerful vibrational frequency that reverberates throughout multiple dimensions. This attitude of gratitude isn't naive positivity, but profound spiritual wisdom. The recognition that embodied existence itself represents an extraordinary privilege and divine gift. This grateful recognition transforms your energetic signature, creating a magnetic resonance that naturally attracts additional blessings, inspires your spiritual guides to draw closer, and strengthens your inner resilience for the journey ahead. Far from being mere social celebrations, birthdays approached with genuine gratitude become powerful portals for spiritual renewal, opportunities to consciously recommit to your soul's mission with fresh vigor and deeper understanding. The most evolved souls recognize that each birthday isn't merely about becoming a year older, but about spiraling deeper into the cosmic curriculum they helped design, embracing each new cycle with reverence for the soul's grand strategy. If birthdays tend to trigger deep reflection or emotional intensity for you, your soul may be using these annual milestones as powerful opportunities for spiritual recalibration. Share your experience by writing, "My birthdays are sacred checkpoints," in the day comments. Now let's explore how the celestial blueprint at your birth reveals even deeper patterns. The celestial blueprint present at the moment of your birth reveals yet another dimension of your soul's sacred planning. Spiritual astrology offers a profound perspective that transcends conventional interpretations. The stars don't dictate your fate, but rather illuminate the energetic landscape your soul deliberately chose to navigate. The planetary positions, cosmic alignments, and celestial geometries present when you took your first breath weren't random background elements, but carefully selected frequencies designed to activate specific aspects of your spiritual curriculum. This cosmic map doesn't represent predetermined destiny, but rather a sophisticated GPS system for the soul's journey, highlighting probable strengths, potential challenges, and energetic tendencies your higher self selected as optimal for this incarnation's learning objectives. What makes this perspective so empowering is the recognition that while the stars suggest it is always the heart that chooses, your free will remains the master architect of your experience, working with these cosmic energies rather than being controlled by them. The soul's wisdom in selecting these specific celestial patterns reveals itself over time as you navigate your unique journey of awakening. Those challenging aspects in your birth chart weren't cosmic punishments, but strategic placements, opportunities for accelerated growth in precisely the areas your soul determined were essential for its evolution. This revelation transforms astrology from fatalistic prediction into sacred revelation, a cosmic love letter from your higher self, detailing the spiritual curriculum you helped design. Beyond the physical realm, each birthday milestone is accompanied by extraordinary behind-the-scenes celebration among your spiritual guides and mentors. These enlightened beings who have accompanied your soul across many lifetimes draw especially near on these anniversary days, observing with profound love as you complete another cycle of growth. They celebrate each victory, each obstacle overcome, each lesson integrated, marking your spiritual achievements with far greater appreciation than most humans mark their worldly accomplishments. These invisible companions hope that you, too, will recognize the profound significance of having continued your journey for another year, that even through tears and challenges, you've demonstrated the courage to keep walking your path. This spiritual perspective reveals why birthdays carry such emotional weight. They're not merely social conventions, but cosmic milestones, opportunities to acknowledge that continuing forward, especially when everything seems to be pulling you backward, represents one of the soul's greatest victories. One of the most telling signs of an old soul on an accelerated path is that persistent feeling of displacement, the inexplicable sense that you somehow don't quite belong in this time, this family, or even this reality. This isn't mere social awkwardness or personality quirk, but a profound soul recognition, the echo of having lived many times before, carrying within you the subtle vibrations of other planes, other existences, other ways of being that feel more like home than your current circumstances. This feeling of cosmic homesickness is especially common among souls who have incarnated many times and carry conscious or unconscious memories of more expanded states of awareness. The density of physical existence can feel jarring to spirits who retain vibrational memories of lighter, more fluid realities. What appears as inability to adapt often reveals a soul carrying ancient wisdom that hasn't yet found proper expression in current circumstances. A sage spirit temporarily wearing the mask of misfit. If you've experienced this peculiar sense of not belonging, of viewing human customs and concerns as somewhat foreign, as if you're a cosmic visitor observing an unfamiliar culture, write in the comments, "I remember other worlds." Let's explore how we sometimes reconnect with souls we've known before. Among the most profound revelations in understanding your spiritual journey is recognizing that every significant encounter in your life serves a divine purpose. Edgar Cayce consistently emphasized that no one crosses your path without reason. Each meeting represents a carefully orchestrated reunion with souls you've known before. These aren't random social connections, but precise appointments scheduled by your higher self, often long before your birth, to facilitate specific aspects of healing, growth, or completion. The mysterious magnetism you feel towards certain individuals, whether attraction or inexplicable aversion, often reveals the presence of unfinished spiritual business. That person who triggers you most intensely may be a soul you've danced with across many lifetimes, returning now in a different role to offer the opportunity for resolution that wasn't possible before. What makes this cosmic choreography so extraordinary is how it transforms relationships into vehicles for profound spiritual alchemy. Perhaps the most beautiful manifestation of this divine orchestration occurs when someone who once caused great harm in a previous lifetime returns as a profound blessing in the present. The former adversary reappears as a devoted lover. The once cruel parent returns as a loyal friend. The betrayer comes back as a protector, creating the perfect conditions for forgiveness to blossom where resentment once poisoned the soul. This elegant cosmic design reveals how the universe constantly creates opportunities for emotional resolution and spiritual elevation. These karmic reunions aren't punishments but invitations, sacred opportunities to transform ancient wounds into sources of wisdom and compassion. They reveal the extraordinary intelligence operating behind the scenes of your life, constantly creating precisely calibrated scenarios for your evolution. Your birth date itself acts as a powerful activation code for these predestined encounters, drawing to you the exact souls needed for your spiritual curriculum. When you recognize that repetitive relationship patterns aren't random misfortunes, but meaningful invitations to heal, everything changes. The key to this transformation lies not in external circumstances, but within your own heart, the spiritual organ, capable of transmuting karma through the alchemy of understanding. When you open yourself to perceiving the deeper purpose behind painful patterns, the repetition ceases. The lesson, once truly integrated, no longer needs to manifest externally. This profound inner shift transforms your relationship with your birth date itself, which becomes a symbol of liberation rather than limitation. No longer marking the beginning of predetermined suffering, but rather the commencement of conscious healing. The date that once seemed to lock you into karmic patterns becomes the very key that unlocks your freedom when approached with spiritual awareness. This perspective illuminates another dimension of birth timing, the souls who deliberately choose to incarnate during humanity's most challenging chapters. Those born during periods of war, natural disaster, social upheaval, or collective tragedy aren't victims of cosmic bad luck, but rather volunteers of remarkable courage. These souls, strategically, position themselves at critical junctures where humanity's pain is most acute, functioning as spiritual lighthouses in humanity's darkest hours. These disguised lightworkers often appear ordinary from the outside, regular people navigating challenging times, but they carry specific vibrational frequencies essential for collective healing. Their presence serves as energetic acupuncture for the body of humanity, helping to process and transmute collective trauma that might otherwise remain stagnant. For generations, if you were born during a period of significant historical difficulty, your soul may have volunteered for this sacred service. If you've experienced profound spiritual recognition when meeting certain people, that unmistakable feeling of "I know you" beyond this lifetime, share your experience by writing "I recognize soul contracts" in the comments. Let's explore how the journey of spiritual growth continues to unfold through each cycle of your existence. The most profound spiritual growth often occurs invisibly beneath the surface of what others can observe. While external circumstances may appear unchanged, with each passing cycle, your soul engages in extraordinary bridge building, creating pathways that connect who you once were with who you're becoming. This inner architecture remains unseen by physical eyes, but represents some of the most important work you'll ever do. Each challenge, each insight, each moment of growth becomes a plank in this spiritual bridge, spanning between your past and your emerging future. This invisible bridge serves as the sacred pathway upon which you carry your most precious cargo, your accumulated wisdom, your healed wounds, your evolving understanding. It's across this bridge that you transport the pain you've transmuted into compassion, the lessons you've integrated into wisdom, and the new decisions that will shape your continuing journey. What makes this spiritual infrastructure so remarkable is that it's built not of concrete and steel, but of consciousness itself, each insight, each act of forgiveness, each moment of presence adding strength to its foundation. The journey across this bridge often triggers profound reflection on our past choices, sometimes leading to shame or regret when we look back at our mistakes. Yet Edgar Cayce offered a liberating perspective that transforms how we relate to our spiritual missteps. Guilt doesn't educate. Remorse paralyzes. Sincere repentance liberates. This profound insight reveals that excessive guilt serves no evolutionary purpose. It keeps us frozen in the past rather than propelling us forward. Remorse that leads only to self-punishment creates spiritual stagnation rather than transformation. The cosmic design of reincarnation itself reveals this truth. We return not to wallow in past errors, but to transform them into light through conscious understanding. Each lifetime offers fresh opportunities to transmute darkness into illumination, not through self-flagellation, but through the alchemy of sincere repentance, the genuine recognition of where we've missed the mark, coupled with heartfelt commitment to a higher expression. This spiritual revolution in how we process our mistakes creates the very freedom needed for authentic evolution. This perspective leads naturally to one of the most liberating revelations about your birth date's significance. It represents a unique spiritual fingerprint incomparable to anyone else's journey. The Cayce universal tendency to measure our progress against others creates one of the most persistent barriers to authentic spiritual growth. Your birth date wasn't randomly assigned, but carefully selected as the perfect starting point for your unique soul curriculum. It isn't better or worse than anyone else's, it's simply yours, prepared especially for your specific journey. Like a song composed specifically for your spirit with God as the divine composer, your birth date contains notes, rhythms, and harmonies meant to resonate with your particular soul frequency. The spiritual mathematics that determined this timing was calibrated with extraordinary precision for your specific evolutionary needs. When you honor the unique nature of your journey rather than comparing it to others, you align with this divine timing and access its full transformative potential. Behind this carefully orchestrated timing lies an even more profound truth: the sacred value inherent in your very existence. Beyond all spiritual accomplishments and evolutionary milestones lies the simple yet extraordinary miracle of being alive, the beating heart, the breath flowing in and out of lungs, the body moving through space. This fundamental presence itself represents something profound, the moment when eternity chose to become flesh in order to continue its own expansion. If you've begun to sense the sacred purpose encoded within your birth date, the divine intelligence operating behind what once seemed like random timing, share your awakening by writing "I honor my divine timing" in the comments. Let's explore how this understanding transforms your relationship with the physical vessel you inhabit. As we reach this moment of shared understanding, I'm deeply grateful that you've journeyed with me through these profound revelations about your birth date's spiritual significance. What began as a simple question about timing has opened doorways to understanding the cosmic architecture of your soul's journey, the divine intelligence operating behind what once seemed random circumstances. If you've resonated with these insights, if something within you has stirred in recognition, I'd love for you to be part of our spiritual community. Subscribe to continue exploring these hidden dimensions of existence with us. Each video is created with the intention of illuminating another facet of your extraordinary spiritual journey. The simple act of leaving a like creates ripples of positive energy that helps these messages reach others who may be seeking exactly these insights at precisely this moment in their spiritual evolution. Your engagement creates pathways for collective awakening, one heart, one soul at a time. If this message has awakened something within you, if you recognize the divine timing that brought you to this video at this exact moment in your journey, write "My soul was listening" in the comments below. This simple acknowledgement creates an energetic signature that connects you with others walking a similar path of remembering. Your spiritual journey doesn't end here. It continues to unfold with each breath, each heartbeat, each moment of presence. I've created a video right here that reveals how to recognize the signs that your past lives are actively influencing your current relationships. Click and continue exploring these sacred mysteries with me there as we delve even deeper into the hidden architecture of your soul's magnificent journey. Until we meet again, remember, you chose this moment, this life, this path. Trust the divine timing that brought you here.